Hello and welcome back to another TFT video. Before we hop into this one, I just want to say thank you so much for all the support over my last couple of videos. It's been super awesome to see. I've gotten a huge influx of subscribers, so welcome if you're new. And before we do hop into this one, I just want to talk about the Road to Diamond. It's looking like we're getting pretty close. I finally broke Plat 1. It took me a few games, more so than going from Plat 3 to Plat 2, but I finally made it to Plat 1. So expect my video on my road to diamond coming out relatively soon. But anyways, without further ado, let's just hop into the video. Thank you, past me, for the intro. And yes, it is true. I'm soon, hopefully, going to reach diamond, which would be super awesome. Still haven't ever gotten that high before, but it's looking pretty good. Especially now that I've been kind of spamming this build here. So right now, I think almost undeniably the best build in the game is going to be Rangers with the Crystal Poison. So primarily a Twitch carry, but you could do like an Ezreal carry or like a Kindred carry if you don't get the right items. But you're going to want at least a Morello's on your Singed, and you're going to need Taric, Ashe, Twitch, Mundo, and Singed. So those are the 5 main champions, and then the other 3, potentially 4 other champions are really up to you, whether that's 2 more Rangers, more frontline, whatever that is. In this game specifically, we're going for the items that we need. So the main items you want for this build are going to be 2 longswords to make Deathblade. At least in my opinion, I think that's the strongest item for Twitch, and Twitch is probably the best carry in most situations. So I think Deathblade is almost essential for Twitch, and you're going to want a Morello's on your Singed. So besides those 2 items, everything else can be kind of switched out. For Twitch especially, you really want to get Runaans. And actually in this video, we end up getting no longswords, which is highly unfortunate. Normally that's like the main item you want to go for, but here in this game, that's not what we end up going for. So as you can see, starting off, I was thinking about going Ocean Mages just because that's a pretty strong build right now. I think that's definitely a top 4 build most games, if you can get the right units, right items. So as you can see, we're going for more of the magic damage items, which is fine because you can actually just transfer most magic damage items onto Singed. Just nothing with mana, so no Ludens, nothing like that. You don't want that onto Singed, so you don't really want Tier on Singed. I mean, he does have mana. You obviously don't want Tier on Singed, but early rounds, we're just looking to win as much as we can and to just stay healthy and econ up. So as you can see, we're actually only at 28 gold before the Krugs, so we're not doing fantastic in terms of econ, but we're doing fine. We've got 4 Wardens going on, or no, 3 Wardens, 2 Ocean. There's the 4 Wardens. So we have a pretty good front line at this point, but we just need to get that back line. As you can see, we also have only gotten 2 items this entire game so far, which is crazy, but it's fine, I guess. We do pick up the 2nd tier, which is awesome, and we pick up a very early Twitch. And this is when I kind of realized maybe I could transition to going Ranger build. So I do pick up the Twitch, even though we have, as you can see, 2 2-star Vladimirs and a few other mages, but really not many other mages, which is also what influenced me to potentially pivot over to Twitch. Ezreal coming in clutch on that one. So now we're just looking for upgrades. So we hit a Thresh, we get another Vigar. We do hit a Braum, but we're not going to buy that. I think Braum is a very good Warden to go for the late game build because if you're potentially going to be running Ezreal, and that glacial buff is just so important because it's just CC. Just 2 more units that can give CC that don't normally give CC that also are good for your synergies. So I don't know, in my opinion, it's a pretty good thing to pick up. We do sell Leona for econ, pretty standard. Looking at the rest of the lobby, we're right in the middle. We're not super powerful right now, but I think we have really good potential to kind of run away with the game. So Negatron Cloak is actually not too bad of an item just because Runaan's is so powerful on the Twitch. So win streaking actually with this build is very good because even if you're stuck with only like the cloths and the armors and the Negatron Cloaks, you can still pick up the Negatron Cloaks because most people don't want those because they don't make anything good besides, honestly, Runaan's on Twitch. So it's a pretty good item for win streaking. So here we are actually second pick, which is good, and we are able to pick up the Twitch with the bow already on it. So there was a sword there which we could have picked up, but I decided to go for the bow since it is another Twitch, and getting that tier 2 Twitch is so important to getting it as early as possible. 2 more Vladimirs to pick up, so I do level up and pick those both up as well. Make the Runaans right away. Upgrade to tier 3 or tier 2 right away. You just gotta, it's just such a big upgrade. And you'll see that Twitch is already going to be pumping out the damage and doing the most for us in these early rounds. Even with just the Runaans, no damage items on him, which I guess Runaans is kind of a damage item because it makes him auto attack. Whatever. There's a tier 2 Vigar, so we still have the Dream available for the mages, because we do have Seraphs and a Jewel Gauntlet, which are good mage items, but Runaan's, not particularly helpful for mages, so it's fine. Also here you can see that there are other mage players in our lobby, so these units are going to be more contested, just because that's how it works. We do pick up the tier 3 Vladimir, which is kind of awkward. Like, we don't really have a good way to put him in, but when you have a tier 3 unit, even if it is a 1 cost, you kind of got to put it in. Another Negatron Cloak, and 2 more bows. So as you can see here, we've got some good potential to be hitting these Runaans. We do make a second Runaans as well. I would still prefer a Deathblade here over any other item, but triple Runaans is pretty hilarious. We do level up and put in the tier 3 Vlad, which is just another body, does some damage. Not bad, has a lot of health to tank basically, but without the Warden buff. Twitch is still dealing all of our damage. We're looking pretty healthy. 61 health. There are some people much lower than us in the lobby, and I know that our build is just going to be stronger and stronger the later this game goes. We do pick up the poison buff and put that in, which is pretty good. Twitch is able to, I think, oh yes, our Ezreal's able to clutch there at the end, and we do beat the #1 guy in the lobby, which is pretty great. It's good to see that we're already so strong. Do hit another Ezreal. Gonna roll down, looking for mostly the Ezreal upgrade, but also Mundo upgrade or hitting a pretty lucky Singe would be very nice. This guy's going a pretty similar build to us with Kindred, Ezreal, and Varus. I guess it's just a pretty traditional Ranger build, but we beat that pretty handedly. Gonna look for a bow or potentially a rod would be pretty good to make Ginsu's, but unfortunately that is not what happens. And we could decide between going Rapid Fire Cannon or Negatron for the 3rd Runaans, and that guy was going for the Olaf, so I decided I'd rather him not get that, because obviously it seemed like he wanted it. So we can make a 3rd Runaans here, but I still think 3 Runaans is not the most optimal item build for Twitch. You want at least some damage, like a Deathblade, or even potentially Giant Slayer isn't too bad on him. But either way, he is still dealing tons and tons of damage. On a pretty big win streak here. We hit the Taric, which is phenomenal. We're not even level 8 yet, so this is just super great for us. We do level up and put in the Ashe. And I guess I could have put in the Vayne there instead of the Braum, but it's whatever. More tanks are good. Taric is so powerful, even at level 1. With that, his ultimate just so good, so strong. I think a little bit too strong, honestly. I think Poison and Crystal are busted. A second Taric super early. Well, not super early, but pretty luckily, I guess. We haven't hit that many 5-cost units, so hitting 2 Tarics already is really nice. But we do got to hit that third one. Another bow is our last item, so hit the Singed, take out the Kog'Maw. You love to see it. So I decide I can either go rapid fire or third Runaan's, send it. Let's go 3 Runaan's just for the memes, and it actually ends up working pretty well. Unfortunately, our Twitch does get kind of sniped there, and I think we do end up losing this one, which is unfortunate, but we did sell our like tier 3 Vlad. We have 6 tier 1 units in, so I don't feel too bad about losing that round. We do hit the tier 2 Amumu, which is awesome as well. We hit tons and tons of Twitches. We do hit the tier 2 Mundo as well, so we hit lots and lots of upgrades there, and we are literally 1 Twitch away from the tier 3 Twitch, which is sick. As you can see, he's still carrying, and he's just going to be doing so much more damage when we level him up. We're going to roll down just in case we can save our Nico's help for the Singed, but there you go. Don't hit a Singe, so we do level up the Twitch. 3-star Twitch before we hit the 2-star Vayne, or Ashe, I guess, for that matter. He's going to be dealing so much damage. We're going to put him in the middle because we don't really need the angle anymore since he's just going to be attacking everyone at once, basically, anyways. So we want to put him more towards the middle so that assassins aren't attacking him first. Up against a shadow player, no problem for us. Twitch is able to easily take them out. No problem at all. We're in a super good spot now. Lots of other people are going poison as well. As you can see, that guy already had a tier 2 Singed, so we want him to get knocked out. There's a Taric, which would be the Taric upgrade with the Ginsus, but we don't really need the Ginsus since our Twitch is full on items, but it gets taken anyways, so it didn't even matter. We pick up the Nami with the Morellos, one of the other core items you need for this build, in my opinion, to put that onto the Singed. We got a Berserker player here in the lobby. Not too much. And luckily we do actually hit the tier 2 Taric as well, which is phenomenal. Now we are basically unstoppable. We're only 3 Ezreals away from tier 3 Ezreal. We're 1 Vayne away from tier 2 Vayne. Not a huge upgrade, but every little bit helps. We still need to hit 2 more Singed for the Singed 2, but our Twitch is going to be applying the poison buff onto basically everybody instantly, so we're not too worried about the Singed getting upgraded because that is the primary benefit of Singed, especially when you don't have many damage items onto him. Another Shadow player able to take him down to 1 health. He barely hangs in there. This Mage player takes out the Warden guy, and he goes down super low as well. But we're in such a good spot right now. We're just going to save our money, econ up until we lose a round so we can roll down for the Ezreal 3 and Singe 2 upgrades. We want to wait to roll because this guy that's super low on health, as you can see, has the tier 2 Singed. The other guy doesn't have any of our units that we want, so we're not too worried about him, and we know that we can easily beat him. Honestly, we know that we can beat pretty much everyone in this lobby, so we're feeling pretty set in this game. It's pretty close to over at this point. Now this build, I have been spamming in my recent games, and I've been seeing it's been so contested, but if you just get the right items early for the late game build, you can force this build and you will get top 4 almost every time. Like, unless literally the entire lobby's going, you get unlucky, but that's like the only way you don't get top 4. Static Shiv, good for Ashe. Good pick up here. But I've won 5 games, I think, using this build in the past 2 days. So it's a super super strong build. I mean, obviously you're not going to hit tier 3 Twitch every time, but even just the tier 2 Twitch is still so powerful. And if you can hit that with at least a Deathblade and a Runaan's, you're pretty set once you get that poison buff going. And then hitting the Taric, if you can get a Taric, Singed, and Twitch, you're basically golden at that point. We do get another Nico's help, which is helpful. We're going to be using that onto either Ezreal or Singed. We'd probably prefer to put it on Singed, but if we don't hit a single Singed, then we will just put it onto the Ezreal. We're going to wait one more round since we are at 46 health, and we're probably going to win anyways, just to have the maximum amount of money to roll down for next time. But yeah, I think this build is hands down the strongest build. The only variation is getting like a Kindred in there instead of the Vayne. A Mumu, super powerful, 5-cost unit, big CC. Malphite could also be pretty good if you don't hit the Amumu. Malphite does what Amumu does, just a little bit worse, I'd say. But the knockup is good. This guy is actually pretty close for us, but we still beat him pretty easily. Gonna save our money here. One thing I'm excited about for the new set is the change of like the elemental tiles. I think the elemental tiles are kind of an interesting concept, but all in all, they're just not that impactful. So like as you can see, like the shadow guy, he's not using them because what's 30 more health on 2 units for? The other guy's using them, but like again, they're really not that impactful. I think that it was an interesting idea, but I think they should have been maybe a little bit more impactful in the game and actually like deciding the outcome, so that way it like truly affected the positioning. Because once it's late game, you don't, especially on like a mountain board, it just doesn't matter anymore. I don't know. That's just my opinion. And for the new set, if you don't know, they're gonna be doing stuff like worlds, certain worlds that like mean different things, I guess. Oh, we're just rolling down here looking for the upgrades. But different worlds, like one of them that I heard about was like every single player starts off with 2 Nikos, and so you get to use that how you like, but it's random which world you're in. I don't know. I think that's an interesting idea because I think that's way more impactful than the elemental tiles. And I don't know what the other worlds are exactly, but I'm sure they'll be just as interesting as that. Finally hit the tier 2 Vayne as well. And we will Nico the Ezreal since we never hit the Singed, which is fine. Tier 3 Ezreal, super awesome. That's just, and he has really good items on him too, so he's going to be dealing tons of damage as well. No way we lose here. Both of our carries still full health. Easily take that one out. That guy's upset because the build we're going, but I don't mind. If it gets me wins, it gets me wins, and I think it's super strong build. So try this out in your games, just not when I'm playing against you. Build something else so that you don't take my units. But anyways, thanks so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe for more, and I'll see you next time. Peace.